Hey everyone, it's Brandy. I just wanted to give you an update on what's been going on this week. It is March 6th, and I am 8 days past IUI. Just to start off with some symptoms, I really haven't had any. The only thing I've noticed that is a little abnormal for me, and this might be a little TMI, but I've had substantial amount of CM. And normally I don't have hardly any at all. I might have it like the day before or a couple days before I ovulate, but afterwards I'm really dry typically. So that's a little abnormal, but I'm not sure if that's has anything to do with maybe the new vitamins that I've been taking. So, and I know you can't really go on based on CM alone, so I'm not getting my hopes up, but that is just one thing that I've been noticing. So, but other than that, again, it's nothing I can't deal with, and I'm just kind of waiting to test myself, and probably next week I'll probably test myself. So, so Tuesday I went to Charlottesville, Virginia to see my new RE, and I have to just start off by saying I love them. The office was fabulous. The doctor made me feel like I was the only patient. The nursing staff was amazing, and the receptionists were just as amazing. Super nice, super friendly. I don't think I could have asked for anything better than that. And it was a 2-hour drive. And it really wasn't that bad. I took my mom and my friend Corey with me and just had a little bit of a road trip. I did work till noon on Tuesday and then went straight up there for my 2 o'clock appointment. Probably got home, I think it was around 5:30 when we got home. But we were actually at the office for a little over an hour, which was surprising to me because I thought we would only be there maybe 30 minutes tops, just because that's just how it's been going with my local RE. The appointments have been literally 5-10 minutes long, so I really didn't expect to be in the office that long. But first thing he did was took us into his office and asked me a bunch of history stuff about my family and what I've used so far, and he went over my husband's sperm analysis that he had gotten here locally. My husband actually had to have it done twice. He had it with a urologist here locally, and he had some numbers and everything. But then when I went to start seeing the specialist here locally, he wanted to double check everything. Now, I knew that my local specialist did not have the capability of getting the numbers, as in like the count and the mobility percentage and so forth, because I asked for that before we did the IUIs, and I was told that they didn't have that information. They didn't do that. Well, he did, because my new specialist had the records from his office, and it showed basically the same thing the other one showed, that everything was normal. So I was a little frustrated hearing that, because I was told one thing, but yet he was able to give my new specialist the information he was needing. So I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. So after the doctor's office, we went to have my pelvic exam done and an ultrasound, just to see how everything was going. My mom was hoping that we would be able to tell if the second IUI worked or not, but I was only 5 days post IUI, so that's too early, and you can't see it on the ultrasound, and you can't test it in the blood work. So he just straight up told her it's too early, but it doesn't mean that she's not pregnant. He said he has many people who come up there and start doing the consult with him and not realizing that they're already pregnant. So he says, we hope that's the case, but if not, we got a plan. Everything looked okay as far as the ultrasound and the pelvic exam went, and my mom and my friend went into the room with me, and the doctor was very thorough with everything, and he actually let them see everything on the screen as well, and when he was measuring stuff and just kind of looking around, he was explaining to me and them what he was seeing, what the measurements were. He was very informative, which I really, really appreciated. After everything looked okay, we went back into his office and kind of went and set up a plan. And he asked me if I had tried Clomid, and I had. I'd tried it for 5 months and then tried naturally. Then I took a break, and then I tried it once with IUI, and then I just did the second one with Femira. So he suggested that I go directly to injectables if this IUI didn't work. I've obviously used the Femira and the Clomid enough times to know if it's going to work or not, and if it's not been working, then I just need to move on. So we are going to try 2 IUIs with the injectables, and he will monitor me by ultrasounds and blood work, which I was so excited to hear. My specialist here locally only does ultrasounds, and so Charlottesville, they do ultrasounds, blood work, but I can actually do some of the testing here locally, and they'll just send all the information to them, so I don't have to travel as much as I thought. So that was good. And then he also said after the 2 IUIs, then we'll have 3 options. One, we can do an IUI, another one afterwards, and then the second thing was he can do the surgery to check for endometriosis, and then the third one is moving to IVF. Now, this is the first time that I've been told that anyone in my family had endometriosis. It just happened to come out. I guess it was great that my mom had went with us, because he asked if anyone had endometriosis, and from my knowledge no one had, and sure enough my mom had it. So, which means that there's a good chance that either I have it or I could get it in the future. So, and he said he didn't see any symptoms on the ultrasound, but that doesn't mean I don't have it. It just means it's not extreme. It's probably just something minor. So he doesn't think that that's my problem, and because I don't have any pain during intercourse, and my menstrual cycle is pretty regular, and I don't have any pain besides the typical cramping, so he doesn't have any signs that I do have it, but again, it doesn't mean I don't. So after the 2 IUIs, I've got those 3 options, and he said if my husband and I decide to go to IVF, then there will be no reason to do the surgery to see if I have endometriosis, because if I do have it and they clean it out, it's not going to affect the success rate of the IVF. So we could skip that altogether if we just want to move forward. But we'll think about that stuff when we get there. The injectables, he reminded me that it does have a tendency to overstimulate sometimes your ovaries, and which therefore could cancel your procedure. But he's going to start me out something with the lowest dose possible, and then he'll monitor me, and then we'll increase if I need to. He'd rather understimulate than overstimulate, so, which is fine with me. And then he also reminded me that the likelihood of multiples increases dramatically, and then what I already knew was it basically, if your rate of success with a regular IUI with Clomid is only 10%, injectables doubles it, so it bumps it up to 20%. So whatever your success thing was, it doubles. So, which is what we're hoping for. I had a pre-auth from my doctor here locally into my insurance for the injectables, and I was afraid that because I'm not really seeing that doctor anymore, that we would have to go through the whole pre-auth process again, because some rhyme or reason my insurance covers the injectables, which is a miracle, because usually they don't cover them. They don't cover the IUIs and they don't cover treatments, but for some reason they cover the injectables, the medications, and I don't get it, but at this point I don't care either. So the receptionist, when I was leaving the office, she actually called the insurance and the pharmacy and double-checked everything, and I could still use the pre-authorization that I already got, and all the new doctor had to do was fax in the new prescription. So they faxed that in, and so I'm going to be getting that probably next week. I'll probably try to test a couple days early before Aunt Flo is supposed to show up, only because I have to go to Charlottesville for my first baseline. Normally I would be able to do it here locally, but because it's my very first, he wants me to come up there. So I'll need to have the injectables by then. And if for some reason I get them and then a week later I find out I'm pregnant, it's only $60, and honestly, I don't mind spending that much just to be safe and ready as well, in case, we're supposed to get bad weather again, so you just don't know what's going on. So I'd rather be safe than sorry as far as that goes. The last thing I wanted to tell you was that we did go, after the second office visit when we went back and forth, I had blood work done. And the blood work, I'm not exactly sure everything that he's testing. I'll get all the results in about a week. And but I know one thing he's testing is not the egg quality. It is the I think your body produces a certain hormone that can kind of give you an estimate of how many eggs you have still, and so he wants to make sure that is okay. He doesn't, if something happens, if it's on the low end, then I might need to I don't know if I could just maybe do one IUI and then do IVF or how that works, but he's thinking that everything looked good on the ultrasound, and he said he could see the follicles, and I had so many that he doesn't foresee me having that issue, but you never know. So he's definitely doing that for me. But I am glad I went, and I'm super excited to start the process, and my husband's actually excited as well. He doesn't have to do as many trips as I do. He only has to do a couple. He just has to be there when I do the IUI. But I have to go up probably at least 2 to 3 times a month, just to kind of get ultrasounds done and make sure I'm being monitored, especially with the injectables. But yeah, so I'm really stoked about that. But I know that there are some people here that I've been following that's been having some issues, and as far as, getting bad news from their REs, and I just want to say hang in there, and my prayers are going to you, and I just pray that everything works out. And then I also know that there's some people who got some BFPs and are on their pregnancy journey already, and I just want to say congratulations again on that. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask me, and I am thrilled that you are following me. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you get all my updated information as far as videos and stuff goes. And thank you for your support and all your kind words. And I know this is a journey that it's hard, and so I love this community because it kind of brings everybody together, and we can share our experiences and just support one another. So I'm really thankful that I have this group of people. So I will try to update you again, maybe next week after I test, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that we get a pregnancy. But if not, at least we have a plan, and I'm comfortable with that, and just trying to keep positive thoughts. And yeah, so can't wait to hear more updates from all of my subscribers and the ones who I subscribe to. So keep all the information coming. I love learning about all this stuff. I'm still new at it, but there's plenty of people out there who have kind of been there, done that, and thank you for sharing all your information, because it's very helpful. And yeah, so I will see you guys next week. Bye.